it's Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I am working on my December daily album. I am getting a jump on the first couple of days of December. Like I said in my setup video, I'm not sure that I will do every day, but I do have some pictures from the first couple of days. So we are going to jump into it. It's going to be a pretty simple setup. I'm planning on doing this 3x4 page, all divided by 3x4s. And yeah, we're going to get going. I have some supplies from Felicity Jane pulled out and a few other companies that I might mix in here. All right, let's go. So my husband is in the United States Army. He's a member of the United States Army Band in Washington, D.C. And on December 1st, he was promoted to Master Sergeant. And it was really exciting and a great way to start off the month. So that is what I'm going to document here on the first page. So I have a picture of him receiving his documents, his certificate, and then of course the family in front of the tree at the Fort Myer Band building. And so those are the pictures I have, and I'm just going to kind of piece together a pretty simple page. I have this vellum from a previous Felicity Jane collection, and I have some sequins from my Hip Kit Club subscription. And if you saw my setup video or one of my intro videos, I'm trying to use sparkle on each of my pages, because I love sparkle, and I'm going with that theme because it's been such a dark year that I would love to end it on a bright note, and what brighter note is there than sparkle? So what I did was cut that vellum down to 3x4, actually two 3x4 cards, and I put them back to back because the back was kind of frosted and didn't have the same kind of color, and I wanted that to be on both sides. And now I'm gonna go over here to his promotion picture, add this in a little bit, and I'm going to pull out some alpha stickers and write the word joy, because of course that's what we felt the day he was promoted. So I have these alphas. These are from Felicity Jane. I'm not sure which kit they're from, but I like how tall they are and how they just totally fill up that tag. I use the tags a lot. One of my goals this year on December Daily is to have simpler pages, but to actually embellish the pictures a little bit more. And so adding little details like the tag hanging off the page is something that I'm trying to focus on and use a lot of these smaller elements in my collection. I wasn't actually sure if I was going to use these chipboard numbers, but I opted to go ahead and use them because I have them. What else am I going to use them for? And I will use it on this vellum. Now, it's definitely going to be a see-through vellum, so I can't just stick it on there. I'm trying to figure out the best way so that it doesn't have a lot of shadowing on the other side. So another tag to the rescue. This time I'll pull out a red tag. I'm trying to experiment to see how I want it to lay. I love the look of the tags kind of going off of the picture. I think that is such, I don't know, I just really like that look. So that's what I'm going to go with. Lay the one over the top of it so that it stands out from that striped background. And then I'm going to end up making that a shaker pocket. On the back, I will repeat that same idea with the tag hanging off, and then that is where I will put the number 2. And because the numbers are back to back, then they sort of cancel each other out, so you don't see a lot of shadowing in the actual album coming through the vellum. You get that clear vellum idea, but it's not, you don't see the chipboard numbers through it so much. They kind of distract from each other. So I have my 2 numbers for December 1st and December 2nd. That card will be done except for the shaker element that I will add towards the end. The picture of our full family, I will end up leaving that one alone. It doesn't really need any embellishment. It stands on its own. So I'll just go ahead and put that one in. And then the journaling will go on the upper right. And I want to do a flip card. So you can see I have these 2 cards picked, and the green one will be on top. The one that says December will be underneath. And that's where I'm going to add my journaling. And I'm just writing a few notes about how proud we are of my husband, about how cool it was that we were all able to be there for his ceremony, because of course with COVID there were some restrictions, so we did all wear masks and we spaced out from the other families that were there to support their loved ones. But it was really nice that we were able to be there, and Adam's mom came up, which was awesome. We haven't seen them in a long time. So I put that in, and then I'm going to add a little embellishment to the top of the card. This is some washi tape that I've had forever, I feel like, and of course it's definitely Christmas. It's green Christmas trees, have to pull out some of the little bits and pieces here that got stuck, but I'm going to use that just to add a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of shine to the top of the card. I maybe should have put it on the bottom, like in retrospect. I kind of wish I'd put it on the bottom because I'm going to have to add washi tape to the top too, but that's okay. It was already stuck on, and I knew that if I pulled it off, it would probably tear the card, and I only have one of those, so you know how it goes. Sometimes you just have to go with what is down there. So here I am attaching my two cards so that they will flip up. Then I just put the bottom card in to the pocket, add another bit of washi tape to make sure it's nice and secure right there, and then it flips. So that way it's kind of interactive, and you know that I love interactive elements, especially in my December daily. That also gives me a spot to put another picture. I can add the picture of Adam and his mom right in there. So 3 pictures on one small layout, absolutely perfect. All right, for the second day of December, I am documenting my kiddos working on a Lego set, and this is kind of a new tradition we are hoping to start. We bought a Harry Potter Lego set, a clock tower, and they are building a bag a day, and then they also have a Lego advent calendar that they're opening and adding those little bits to their set. But I thought it would be a fun thing to do as a family, to work together, and they just absolutely love Legos. So something we are trying this year, so I definitely wanted to document it. I love these ornament die cuts. They are so pretty from the Coco collection this year from Felicity Jane. My first inclination is to just hoard them. They're so pretty. I thought of so many ideas for spreads I could have done with them, but I just don't want to hoard my supplies. I have a lot of December daily supplies, a lot of Christmas themed things, and I want to go ahead and just go for it. But I am going to try something different. You can see I trimmed off one ornament, and I'm going to kind of divide it up among the pictures. I know this page is divided into 4 parts, but I kind of want to bring those elements all together. So you can see how I'm going to have the ornaments kind of going between all of those photos, making it feel like one complete layout. I wanted to bring in a little bit more pink, so I grabbed one of the papers from the kit that kind of has this pink snow look, and that's where my journaling, it's not really journaling, I didn't really write much. I'm just going to do a little stamp to mark that this is a holiday tradition, a new kind of holiday tradition, and I wanted another place to keep that ornament. So now I have 3 ornaments in 3 different spots. One of the rules of design, having it in those odd numbers, and just the diagonal that they form, that they kind of zigzag across the page, helps your eye move across the page, which works out really well. All right, I'm grabbing one of the Felicity Jane stamps. I'm going to test it out a little bit here. It's hard to see on camera, but it does say holiday traditions. Some of those block stamps can be really tricky, but it does come out pretty well. I just wanted to practice it a little bit right there before I stamp on the card. It always makes me so nervous when I stamp directly on the cards, but the truth is you can always cover it up in some way if it doesn't work out, but that stamp actually came out really well. And then I'm going to add a few more stars just because I felt like the black that I stamped in was pretty stark on that pink, and I didn't want it to just stand out and feel odd right there. All right, these labels are making another appearance. I'm going to add one in pink down here to bring that color all the way down to the bottom of the page. And that is where I will do my journaling, which is actually just going to be one word, and it's going to say Legos. So trim it off right there. I like the theme of those labels off and on. I'm sure that's going to happen throughout my whole album just because it's something that is really appealing to me lately. Now, I had a little issue because I used my favorite lettering pen to add the word Legos, but I didn't realize, I just didn't think about it, that the top of these tags from Felicity Jane have kind of like a waxy coat on them. So the pen wasn't really, it was kind of beating up. So what I ended up doing is I grabbed one of my Archer and Olive acrylic pens. They have, they're called acrylograph pens, and it's really like acrylic paint, and it has a super fine tip. So I grabbed that in black and just went over all of the writing that I had done just to make sure it would seal in and dry really well without smearing. And then I take it off camera and dry it with my heat tool. I just wasn't confident in that original ink that was down there. Okay, now I'm going to start to assemble this page, putting in all of the cards. Sometimes I have adhered the cards to each other front and back, and that just didn't work this time around. I just decided it really didn't need it. It was a pretty snug fit with the cards in the pocket, so I wasn't worried that they were going to shift around too much. And once I have them all in there, then I'm going to grab those sequins from the Hip Kit Club. You can see me looking for them here. And I'm going to put some in the front and some in the back where those numbers are. I kind of fuss around. I'm trying to figure out the best way to pour the sequins in without making a mess. And you can see very quickly that I did not succeed in not making a mess. They got everywhere, and that's okay. That just happens. So I've just put a few here in the front. Some of them go in the back. It just, you guys, I'm not great with that. So I think they're just fun, shaking around in there, just a fun little element, adding a few more in the back. I'll grab just a few. I want to be able to use them on another page, so I didn't want to fill it up too much. And then what I'm going to do is take that over to my sewing machine and just sew across the top of that one pocket, just to make sure that those sequins stay put and don't fall out through the years. And with that, this page is done. It was fun to get a jump on the album. I really enjoyed it. I'm getting more and more excited about working on my December daily. It was a little bit overwhelming to start with, but just knowing that I'm not putting pressure on myself to do every day, it makes it a lot easier. I will make sure to list all the supplies I use down below. Some of those are affiliate links, just a heads up, but when you shop those, they don't cost you anymore, but they go a long way in supporting this channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I hope that you have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.